Morning guys. Was supposed to go out on a morning drive with my friend here in his BMW 338. No, just the plate number 338 huh? And the sky is not helping. It's already 7:10, 10 minutes past 7, but it's still so dark. So this friend of mine that I wanted to interview him, and of course his beautiful 3355 coupe that he has had for many years. It's interesting because remember earlier on you guys saw some billboards that we have. Anyway, we'll see where to go. It's a wet morning. Guys, morning! Today I want to introduce you all to Alex Go.
Hi!
Alright, now remember about a month ago, or was it 2 months ago, there was a number of evil billboards coming up in, I think it's Klang Valley, right?
Yes, Klang
Valley area. I forgot how many billboards was there, like 20 or something like that. And many of you saw it, and some of you even thought, I mean, I know I'm an advertising background and all that. A lot of you thought, wow, Bobby, nice render. they all thought I edited the video, you know.
Really?
Yeah, a few of them. Because the video is static, right?
Yes,
when they just place, if they are moving around, then they can see it, right?
Yeah.
So that whole execution came from Alex and his company BRANDLAH. You can see or not? The seatbelt. Okay, what happened was this. You did a SME award, SME fun thingy, right? And I'm so lucky that I applied for it and I won it. I mean, I'm among some of the winners lah. Right? And what we won is airtime. So I find his company very innovative. I think it's a new approach to outdoor advertising. So would you like to tell me a little bit more about how BRANDLAH came about? And what is it? You might need to speak in my volume.
Okay. So BRANDLAH started exactly about 2 years ago. And how it started was basically I was in the media agency line helping our clients in terms of his media communications plans, and after a while I started thinking I needed a new purpose. And while going through that thought, I had a lot of friends that were business owners on their own around me in my circle of friends, and I realized most often the question asked to me is there any form of affordable low-cost media out there that they can actually use?
We always feel billboards are extremely expensive.
Correct. And when they ask me that question, I will ask them, what are you doing right now? If it's working for you, just do whatever you do best and things like that. And over time, I realized that I have the biggest passion for out-of-home advertising, which is literally anything out of home. And I asked myself, if one of the airlines in the market could make it so low cost and affordable for us to fly compared to many years ago, could we do the same thing?
Low cost outdoor,
exactly. So that thought was very daunting, and I started working on it together with my business partner now. And we realized that a lot of businesses, especially the SMEs and startups, they shy away from digital out-of-home or out-of-home advertising per se is because it's premium. That's the reason why everywhere you go, you only see the most noticeable big brands, established big brands there, because it's expensive. So what we decided to do 2 years ago was basically to make premium low cost. That's exactly what we did.
How you do it? There's a fixed cost, right?
There is. I mean, it's complicated. It's a long journey, but we truly believe that when we started pitching our purpose and cause and objective to the various media partners.
All these along Federal Highway are your network, right?
Not all of it yet,
okay.
But majority of it are. Currently, we have about close to 1,200 digital screens in BRANDLAH network. Why I say 1,200 is not for us to chest thumb. 1,200 screens in our network means there are about 1,200 options for you as a business owner. So different businesses could be targeting different locations. Therefore, we hope that we have something that will help you.
Is it mostly Klang Valley?
At this point of time, it's about 95% Klang Valley. We have Alostar, and probably every 2 weeks from now, we'll be launching new destinations, if the airlines call it. We'll call it the new locations. So we're going to start off with Pahang, Ipoh, Penang, then slowly, potentially, and hopefully to other states as well. So to give all the businesses, especially the SME business owners, a lot more options to reach out to their audiences. That's basically how it is. It hasn't been the most smoothest journey. When we started, when me and my business partner started, a lot of them thought we were a bit scammy. It's like, how is it possible that a $60,000 digital screen a month minimum buy would now be available exclusively for SMEs, qualified SMEs, for only 3,500 ringgit per week. You know, so that's a far
3,500 per week.
Yeah. So if I break it down, because BRANDLAH markets the digital screens as flexible as 1 week. That's your minimum buy. There is no commitment on contracts. So therefore, we have had businesses that tell us that, hey, you know what? I have a small budget of, let's say, 7,000 ringgit. What can I do with it? So we'll tell them, like, we will try to understand.
So why buy radio when you can buy this?
Well, you should, if you have the capacity and bandwidth or budget, do get into other forms of media. That's number one. Number two is if you have limited budget, and if you know that some of this media will probably work harder for you. When I say harder means it will give you that impact. So it's like our SME winners when we did the SME fund. Almost about 99% of them have never used digital outdoor advertising before. But out of the 99%, 100% of them always aspired to have their brands on large digital outdoor screens.
Definitely.
The only roadblock is cost. So during MCO, when everyone was at home, nobody could go out, which also basically meant that we didn't run any advertising campaigns at all for our clients. We started to sit down with our business partners and try to rationalize and talk about what is needed during that time and what could potentially happen the moment. We didn't know when they were going to lift the MCO, right? But we were thinking ahead to think about how can we help businesses the moment the MCO is being lifted. And I think first and one of the key things is all the businesses want the exposure, fast, quick, and impactful. But at the same time, because business is affected, so funds could be affected as well. And that was the exact moment of time when we realized that we needed to do something for our dear SME clients and also community. We decided to launch an advertising fund. All right. While we were planning it, we realized that nobody was doing it. You know, everybody was still very fixated to how to adapt to the new norm and everything else. But we were really thinking about, yes, it's a new norm, but how to get your business out there in the new norm. And that was the beginning of where we launched the 3.1 million SME advertising fund. To divide between the curious and serious, we decided it shouldn't be just a form for you to fill up, check some boxes and submit it in, because I think the whole world will do that. So what we did was we wanted a bit more effort and a bit more sincerity from the SME owners. So hence all we wanted was the SME business owners to shoot a video answering a couple of questions. when we reviewed the hundreds of videos, some of it was very, very touching. I mean, we could really see businesses suffering from the pandemic, and after a while we realized that if we could do it again, we definitely want to, but we're still planning it right now.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Your 3.1 million SME fund still got unused one, can pass to me. Okay, one thing. We all know from my impression, billboard is expensive, right? And just now you mentioned about AirAsia, right? And everybody can fly now, right?
Yeah.
Now, when I go AirAsia, I understand I would get less room, right? I don't get food, I have to buy my own and all that. On a billboard, how does it make sense that from something that is 60,000, you can drive it up to so low? Is what you cut it up or what?
Okay.
How do you do it?
Okay. That question,
they still get the whole thing, right?
They still get the whole thing. So that question is like trending number one question that I often get asked all the time. So just to clear the air, it's very straightforward. Whatever the big brands currently get, a 15-second spot, they appear 480 times in a day, that particular location, full size appearance on the whole entire digital screen. What a normal ordinary client, a big budget client will get is the exact same thing that you guys, the SME, the startups will get. The only difference is because we are SMEs, we don't have that kind of capacity and budget like the bigger brands, but eventually you'll be there. So what we do is basically we negotiated the prices so low cost that you can actually be side by side with the bigger brands.
What's the lowest cost of entry?
So the lowest price, low cost digital screen in our network is actually 595 ringgit per week. So that's literally 595 ringgit per week. It is so low cost that, let me just tell you this very crazy experience. So we met a client, the deal was done, literally like I said, when BRANDLAH sells 1 week minimum, we went there hoping that they will actually try this for 1 week. So the client actually booked 12 weeks with us because they realized that, hey, it is so affordable, I shouldn't just get stuck to branding for 1 week. So once the conversation and the meeting finished, the client pulled me aside and said, hey Alex, does BRANDLAH accept cash payment from a personal advertiser? So the flag started to come out. I was like, what do you mean by personal advertiser? But yes, we do accept cash. So I said, I just need to go back to office, issue an invoice and submit to you. You give me the relevant materials according to specs, according to their own bahasa, all the things in a way. Then I popped the next question. So I said, but you just signed with me 12 weeks, why would you want to buy an additional 1 week for 595 ringgit? Then he leaned over, he says, actually it's so low cost that what I intend to do is actually to book that slot for 1 week and actually use the digital screen to propose to my girlfriend.
I was just about to ask you this question.
So
Has anyone used your screens to propose?
So yeah, here's the truth. So number one, I did not take the money from him because I didn't know when he was going to propose to the girlfriend. Number two, I said yes to him, you could do it, but you just have to make sure that you go according to the guidelines of outdoor. Nothing obscene, nothing crazy and things like that. And the third thing was, I said, you have 1 week of airtime. Do you really want to make it that big? So he says, yeah, it's good value because for 595 ringgit, the value of the entire experience that the whole proposal will happen
is worth it.
It's definitely worth it. I think it's priceless. The next thing I told him was very simple. I think a lot of men are going to hate you because you're going to raise the bar way too high. And he told me, don't worry, all the men will come to BRANDLAH and then they'll start proposing to all their girlfriends using digital screens. That was kind of an experience.
Just now when you say 500 plus, right? Let's say there's one billboard here on a digital screen here that is about 500 plus for 1 week.
For 1 week.
That means, right, let's say, I mean, there's a lot of shop lot here at Uptown here, right? Sometimes one shop lot would have some promo, right? He would have spent any he would have spent 1,000 ringgit to print flyers
or more. Yeah, correct.
To hire someone to disseminate around here. Without realizing that he could have spent the amount on your digital screen.
Correct.
And the people here could have saw it.
Correct.
You see?
So
it's amazing because when I heard it's like, okay, maybe your company is helping all these billboard owners to sell maybe random spots or something like that. But when you tell me about the way you drive down the price for SMEs, right, is crazy because like what you said, we always think billboards are highly expensive.
Yep.
And
it is still very expensive. It may not be expensive in the eyes of advertisers that are used to it.
The big brands right? For them it's nothing.
Right. So one of the most basic criteria for our team when we list new digital screens in BRANDLAH's network is actually very, very simple. When we get to know a particular digital screen, we'll have conversation with the media partners, and if we are able to exclusively make that price affordable for SMEs, the first thing that we would do is we ask ourselves, we as an SME, can we afford to pay to advertise ourselves? So give you an example, if let's say this set of digital screens cost 25,000 ringgit a week. Although it has been brought down from a price of $90,000 a week, for example. The question to us is, can we afford? Can we do it? Can we do it long term? Can we scale it bigger? If the answer is no, then we will continue to have the conversation with the media partners in hope that they see our vision and what we're trying to purposefully do.
So all those around here are also a network, right?
Quite a lot of it. I think you throw a stone here and there, you probably hit one of the screens in our BRANDLAH network.
Okay.
So we have never stopped talking to potential media partners. We started with 300 digital screens. Today, as of today, we have about 1,002.
Nice.
There could have been more, but like I said, we are very careful in how we select and how we want to ensure that we live our purpose of trying to provide low-cost digital advertising, digital outdoor advertising for the SME advertisers. I mean, until today, as of last week, we went for a presentation. The client still could not believe that it is so low cost. He actually used the word cheap. So I say there's no such thing as cheap. Flying a low-cost airline is also not cheap unless you catch during the promo time and things like that. But I think what we do is we make it low cost so that you can actually advertise like the big brands. So it's just short of us saying now all SMEs can advertise, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, we have worked with quite a number of businesses, whether it's F&B. And F&B was quite a classic story because this was last year Ramadan, and I made a cold call to this F&B client, and he had a budget of about 50,000, and he was ready to sign on the dotted line to an agency to do production, social media, ads, and everything else. So it was going to be huge on top of what he was currently doing on the social digital space. So he only told me this, I know digital outdoor, I know out of home, it is just way above the capacity that he can spend. And he likes to think that 50,000 cannot get him a lot of things. So I basically told him, if you have 10 minutes, I will present to you 10 slides and tell you what you actually can do with $50,000 budget. So I went there, met him, so in 10 minutes, the team did whatever we needed to do. Then the next thing he told us was, can you show me the locations of these digital screens? So I said, yeah, by all means. So I said, I wouldn't flick through 1,002, but I'll just show you what we think matters to you. So we showed him locations like Jalan Tun Razak, Federal Highway, LDP, Mutiara, and quite a number of strategic locations which are all in the network as well. And the next thing he asked me was, will I get, like how you asked me, will I get exactly what the normal advertisers get, or simply because if it's low cost then I'll just appear 10 times a day, 5 seconds, that kind of thing, you know, he would understand. I said, well, to begin with, if if AirAsia sells you the ticket for 100 ringgit,
you will still reach your destination.
and you go Singapore, rest assured you still reach Singapore. So I told him the same thing. I said, what you see is what you get. You still get exactly the same thing. The only difference is, again, because we're SMEs, we may not have the kind of budgets like the bigger brands, but you definitely for sure will get what you are promised. So for 50,000, I can't remember the exact amount, but 50,000, he got himself 16 digital screens for I think a duration of about 1 to 2 weeks. And these are premium large digital screens on highways like Federal, LDP that you can ever imagine. And what happened after that was I was on social media, I was on LinkedIn, and I actually saw him did a couple of posts. And two of which was, the first one was our first transformational marketing program, being able to get on digital outdoor advertising. In my own words, it's more or less there, that kind of meaning. Secondly, is we never believed that we could actually be on digital screens like the big brands.
Nobody doubted outdoor billboards or outdoor advertising, right? Everybody knows it's a nice thing to have. And for me, I'm a firm believer of two prongs approach. Outdoor like this, when we are moving on about our lives, and when we reach a location, we open our phone, we go into that world, the digital environment as well. And I always believe in this. Of course, some events, interaction and all that. But I always believe this works. As opposed to, sorry, you ask me, radio, newspaper. Because to me, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know which of my friends still listens to radio. Everybody is on Spotify, on YouTube Music, Apple Music, right? Anyway, I'm really happy for you and what you are doing at BRANDLAH.
Thank you.
And really, recently those static billboards, those one big unipole one, those are very, very expensive, right? The static one, the printed one. So recently I saw more and more of them like left blank. Is it because the clients have moved to digital screens?
Well, that statement that you made just now saying that the billboards was blank was exactly what my daughter told me last week when I was driving her to school. Because my daughter knows what I do.
The static ones are blank.
But she may not know exactly what I do every day, right? So we were driving to school and she says, Papa, can you work harder and try to fill up all those grey colored billboards? I think you're not working hard enough. I paused for a while and I was asking my 7-year-old daughter, I said, what do you mean? Nah, those boards, the big and small ones, they're all grey color, they don't look too nice. Can you work harder and get advertisers there? I was this is a side joke.
But you don't sell those, right?
We do. But like what you said, I think we believe a lot of the advertisers are slowly evolving and moving into digital out of home. Simply because, number one, for cost reasons. I won't go to the details of it. Number two is the digital screens gives you that level of dynamic flexibility that the static ones may not be able to. The static billboards still work. Alright?
Has a kind of authority there.
Correct. Right? And the digital screens has a different kind of appeal.
Like last time Celcom one.
Correct.
This is Celcom territory.
Correct.
They are epic. I think we can collaborate.
I think we should.
Because outdoor advertising gives people that something has arrived. And then we are the noisy ones, be it on YouTube, on Facebook, whatever, creating contents and all that. And I think if both together, right? We can drive some.
Yes, we should. I think at the end of the day, at the end of the day, as a media person, I always believe, and the team always believe that no one media is God sent. All right. It has to be a synthesization of a couple of media platforms. And more often than not, when we speak to the SME clients that yearns the attention, yearns the results of it, we always tell them, look for media that gives you the impact. Alright? So if digital and social is working for you, good. What is it going to give an impact? Content-wise, I love some of the videos that you do. Some of it have even swayed some decisions in terms of car buying. Not only for me, but for friends as well.
Too many already.
Too many. So You see, that's the kind of impact. So we always tell the clients, look for something that's impactful. Yes, we need to look at the numbers, we need to look at the dollars and cents, we need to look at the attribution, we need to look at the results and things like that. And last week when the client says, hey, by 1 week got impact, man. So naturally I told the client, if you go to the gym and if you want to stay healthy, have a strong, a good outlook, fit body and things like that, it can never be achieved within a week. I think same goes to branding. If you think of the biggest brands that you know today, none of it was done over a week. It was done over time in different ways, different manners, different forms and different deliveries. So I think the same thing happens to a lot of the SME brands. We tell them, do it where you can, do it sustainably, and when it's low cost, you really can actually do it sustainably. We have clients that actually tell us, oh yeah, my business hits the peak every month end. And we tell them, yeah, you can do that on BRANDLAH. All you gotta do is just buy the last week of every month, and you will be top of mind every month. And the other thing on BRANDLAH is we do not charge any content uploading fee. Traditionally, there is somewhat of a fee to that. The reason why we don't charge is because we want to cultivate and actually get our advertisers to get used to having different content for relevance purpose every now and then. But that also does not mean that you should be changing content every day. You know, it's like what you guys did on your ad. The color was spot on. Alright, the red color that you use. The text was spot on because it's readable. It's not small font. We have seen bad ads with small fonts, font size 12.
No, you haven't seen the initial drafts that I rejected. Anyway, one last question.
Okay, go ahead.
How strict are the authorities when it comes to advertising on outdoor and all that? Let's say I am Triumph. I sell bras.
Right.
Can I?
There is a local industry guideline to what can and what can't to begin with. But for us, our filters are very clear. If any products at the end of the day portrays anything to do with obscenity and things like that, we would advise. Yes, correct.
Can or not? Have they gone on billboard before or not?
Not that I remember. This is a very tough question, Bobby, but not that I remember. But what we'll do is we'll sit down with the advertiser to see.
Or if I'm Speedo, I sell swimsuits.
Yeah, but we'll probably not allow, or the authorities will not allow semi-naked guy just wearing the Speedo pants and that's about it. And
definitely cannot.
Yeah, definitely cannot. It can be communicated in a different way. If it loses the essence of the product, then we'll probably advise the client to probably look at alternative media that will be able to drive that. Because our purpose is basically to help the SMEs.
Alright? If you tell me can, I'm gonna launch I'll launch some Evo bra or something. Then I'll say, bro, I want to buy the 3005 one.
Performance.
Just to get out there with my brand on the swimsuit, just to make a point.
So there are guidelines and we strictly stick by it. Although the advertisers sometimes challenge us and we'll tell them that you wouldn't want to attract the negative feedback. So we'll tell them to follow what is necessary, and I mean creatively there will be ways to articulate what you're trying to do. So yeah.
Alright, so guys, so it's the same for me. It's like, billboard can be bought like that. It takes someone innovative. I've always learned a lot from Alex, and I'll put the contacts of BRANDLAH or Alex, all that down there. Any one of you who wants to inquire or ask something, is the guy.
Feel free to reach out to us.
Alright, cheers. Hey guys, one last thing. The whole video, how many billboards you see? Alright, write down the number and you can come to AURIZN Facebook and claim your prize if you got it right. Cheers.